Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Sunday Gratitude, episode 12. Today's guest is Fred Canto Castro, one of my youngins, a guy that has been a little brother to me, an inspiration to my life, and to an inspiration to many people, particularly back in Portugal. Fred is not only a serial entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, he also is the voice of the next generation back in Portugal. So I'm so excited to have him on the show. And as we round out season 1 of Sunday Gratitude, not that Sunday Gratitude will disappear, but we are going to see how we can improve Sunday Gratitude so that you, the viewers, will enjoy it much more. So we're going to take 2 weeks for a little bit of break and then figure out how we can improve it for everyone's experience. Anyways, want to give a shout out to everyone who's just walked in here. If it's your first time on Sunday Gratitude, my name is E. And every Sunday, I like to do an uplifted practice of what I've been doing for more than 4 years, which is gratitude and sharing gratitude to the rest of the world. Now I've invited my friends to kind of join in and share what they're grateful for. We've been doing this now for 3 months, and this is episode 12. So I want to send a shout out to my peeps who are already here. Felipe is in the house all the way from Colombia. We got Sofia, my little Angelita, all the way from Porto. If you guys are here right now and you're checking us out, please let us know on the comment section where you're coming from so we can give you a shout. Welcome to Sunday Gratitude. We got Fred, who is just coming in here right now. I'm going to type in a little thing. Please let us know where you're from. Also hit that little arrow button so that then you can share this with everybody. Yep. Andrea from Portugal. I guarantee that we're going to get a bunch of Portugal people here. And I'm so excited because Portugal is like a second or third home for me. So for all you guys that are here, totally stoked to be here. Now I gotta just make sure I find my guy Fred, who it just, there he is. There you go. And he's coming in a second. And we're so honored to have him.
Hello,
Hey, brother, what's
hello.
going on?
How are you doing, brother?
My friend,
I
my
love
dear brother,
the
what's
the
going
hat
on?
collection.
What? Yeah, I
It's
know.
amazing.
The
It's so
hats and the
we.
pom-poms. The
You
hats
know,
and
when
the
I when I met you, you had one of those hats at A-Fest.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of these hats. I have like 12 here. I have like 10 in like a cabinet, and probably like a whole bunch more up in my room. So I just
That's
figure out
beautiful.
like it also makes for good decoration and good background. So it's a
True.
good kind of like instead of a green screen or something, just make it hats. It's part of who I am. So
Yeah.
um,
So
everyone
honored to
that's
be here with you, my friend.
Oh,
So thank you
absolutely,
for
absolutely.
your
It's
invite.
it's an honor
Yeah.
to have you. You do know that you are one of my life's inspirations. You know, being somebody who has pushed himself and done the work in order to make a difference in this world and impact, particularly the people that are closest to you, your home country of Portugal. So I
Thank you so much.
it's been an honor and a pleasure to watch you grow these past number of years and to become the man that you are now. Not that the man that you were before wasn't good. He was
Yeah.
amazing. It's just this is you're up loving yourself on a constant basis, and I'm truly honored, obviously, to have you here. So, for those who are just chiming in, welcome to Sunday Gratitude. My name is E. Sunday Gratitude is the uplifted and up-regulated version of daily gratitude, a practice I've been doing for more than 4 years now. And so this time, instead of just me sharing my gratitude and what I'm grateful for every year, and to practice both the science and the art of gratitude, I wanted to invite close friends of mine who are also not just amazing people and impactful people in this world, but also grateful people, because every day to become who they are, they have to look back and reflect of what they're grateful for in order to create that impact for everyone else, working from a full cup instead of an empty one. So, and one of those perfect examples is you, my friend. So,
Thank you so much. I mean, it's so good to be here. We met around like 2 or 3 years ago.
mhm.
And then life just made sure that our paths just crossed at the right times, and just lucky to be here with you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm lucky to be here. If you're just chiming in, please put on the comment section where you're coming from so we can show you love. I know a majority of people here are probably from Portugal, but
Yeah,
then there'll be the debates if they're from Porto or they're from Lisbon, from Algarve, or anywere else.
yeah. So
Um,
let me introduce you as well
okay,
to
please, yeah,
my
please do that
community.
for me for the Portuguese. Absolutely.
Yeah, if it's and I can see some people here. So E is a good friend. I met E at A Fest. It's basically a festival by Mind Valley, and we met who I think Ana Juma introduced
Yep.
us at the line. We were like waiting to get into the room, and we just connected. And then I think the way we really connected was on the dance floor because we danced like crazy. I mean, E is an amazing dancer. He even what did you did with your hip? He was
Oh, I
on a
tore the muscle
contest.
off the bone.
Yeah, and he was already like with an injury, and he went for the competition.
Championship.
Yeah, exactly. And so we connected a lot on the just like dancing, and then of course talking and sharing experiences. And E is just someone that is full of wisdom. E is one of the people that I know that I like to call you or to think about you as a connector because you know a lot of amazing people and you just connect them. So one part of you, of course, is that part. You know, incredible people, and the only way for you to know all of those people is to be one of those people. You know, so you're an amazing human being, and I have the luck to call you one of my mentors. And so I think this is going to be a good conversation.
Do you want to actually introduce that in Portuguese too? Because that'll be a
I think it's good for them. Yeah, but Portuguese people that follow me, they know English pretty well for sure. Or
you're like, okay,
you wanted me to say this in Portuguese? Was that it?
just a little bit of something in Portuguese, yeah.
Yeah, ok. Então, pessoal, agora que o I não está a perceber nada daquilo que estamos aqui a falar, o I é uma pessoa fantástica mesmo. Acho que eu tenho muito a aprender com ele. E quem estiver interessado em seguir o seu trabalho, o I está na NBA, numa equipa, nos New York Knicks, trabalha a preparação física deles e é uma pessoa que conhece gente incrível e ele próprio é incrível, tem um mundo nas pernas e acho que o vão adorar conhecer. Yeah, I have here Philippe asking workshop with E in Seekers Club. Why not? This is
Why not?
might why not? This might be something we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we need to
I would
talk
be
about
all
this.
for it, my friend. I would be all for it.
Yeah, let's talk about this afterwards because I think it's a really good idea.
Absolutely. So, oh my gosh.
It's okay.
What happened there? Oh, here we go. I pressed this little button. Oh my God, there we go. We're flipping
Yeah.
over. So what I wanted to do first before we started this conversation and got way deep is to ground ourselves. What I'd like to do is, as before we start, is to just get every emotion that we have, in a sense, kind of grounded. And the way that I do that, that I'd like to have my guests and myself to be able to do that, is something that I call a quick breath work that's called a take five. And a take five is very simple. It is just allowing yourself to breathe in and out using your nose as you breathe in and your mouth to breathe out. But then when you blow, you pretend that you're like in a birthday party and you blow a candle, but just
Uh,
enough that you're flickering it. Your goal is not to blow the candle, to blow it out completely, but rather to let it dance. Like I would tell my
okay.
friends, particularly from the social dance world, I would say it's like you're letting them do bachata. I'll do a little bachata. Or actually, you can let them do a little kizomba while they're doing this, but very relaxed. So you breathe in through your nose and you breathe out through your mouth with just a gentle blow out. And then as you think about that, to think about your lungs being these balloons at your birthday party. And so these balloons expand and then they retract. And what we're going to use as a driver is your hand. So it's take five because we have 5 fingers.
Okay.
We're going to use 5 seconds to get from the wrist crease to the thumb and 5 seconds to breathe out to going back.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Got it.
so the key we're going to do is going to put let's have everyone bring your right hand up, you as well. You're going to have to put your
I'm
phone
gonna
down.
put the
There you
right
go.
one.
You have to position your phone, yeah.
Yes.
Your right hand up. You're going to bring your right hand down like this, like you were holding a pizza pie.
Okay.
And then, I don't know how you're going to do it, but you're going to use your left finger.
Oh, let my girlfriend can
Yeah.
film me. Just give me a second. Consegue chorar kidding.
It's like you need to
Let me
find
do
like
that.
something or somebody to just hold it.
Wait a minute. Okay, got it. So like
Okay.
this.
So right hand,
Yes.
pizza pie,
Pizza pie.
left finger
Left
into the
finger.
wrist crease like this.
Yes.
And then when you take a deep breath in, we're going to go towards the thumb and then breathe out towards back to the wrist crease. So
Okay.
obviously we're
Got
going
it.
to do it 5 times for 5
Yes.
fingers with 5 seconds each. Breathe
Got it.
in and breathe out. Are you ready?
Got it. I'm
Listo?
ready. Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Okay. And we
Should I
begin.
just
We'll
one
take it.
second? Should
Yeah.
I close my eyes?
You're welcome. You're welcome to
Okay.
close your eyes, or you can keep your eyes open if you wish as well.
Okay.
Whatever
close
feels
them.
right for you at this moment. Remember the cues. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth, just to blow enough that you're flickering a candle, not to blow it out completely. All right? So
Got it.
hand, pizza pie, finger. We begin in 5, 4, 3, 2. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, with your eyes closed, bring your right hand to your heart and bring your left hand on top of your right hand. You can continue to keep your eyes closed, or if you just close your eyes, just begin if you did it open in the beginning. Now, with your hand in your heart, I want you to slowly breathe as normal as you can. And while you're breathing, allow the energy that you just gave yourself with the breath to your hand to now pass that energy to your heart. And allow the energy to go into your heart using your breath as a tool to let it continue to get charged up. Allow that breath and that energy to go into your heart, into the rest of your chest and your torso, to go down to your hips, to your legs, to your feet, down to the floor. And allow yourself to have that energy ground you. And continuing with the regular breath, now also allow the energy to go upwards, towards your neck, your head, all the way up. And allow that energy not just to stay within you, but allow it to expand from your chair or your floor to your room, to your town, to your city, to your country, and to the connecting countries that are around you. Now being filled with all this energy, I want you to think of just one thing you're grateful for at this exact moment. Not what you were grateful for when you woke up this morning, or even what you're excited about and grateful for tomorrow. But at the exact moment in time, right now, think about just one thing that you're in gratitude of. And if what you're grateful for allows you to smile, smile. That brings the energy even higher. So continue with the normal breath. Continue smiling and feeling gratitude, surrounding not just yourself and your body, but everything else around you, connecting you to the world around you. And feel it. Enjoy it. And then the next out breath, as you continue to normally breathe. And whenever you're ready, slowly and gently open your eyes and rise.
You're the man, E.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
So, that is
Thank you
called
so
Take
much.
5.
I was needing it, actually.
I know. I think it's important for everyone before any kind of conversation to be able to then just get themselves present in the moment, and you know that more than anybody else. And sometimes life happens and we can't control it. And the only thing we can truly control in this world is our attitude and effort. And the breath changes as we go through different emotions. So if we're able to control the breath, we are then able to control the emotions. And then it allows you to get grounded. So thank you
true.
for joining me on that. And thank you for
Actually,
everyone that joined in. If you're just joining in, we just finished a gratitude meditation and breath work called the Take 5. Welcome to Sunday.
how do you spell it? E, how do you spell it? Take 5?
Take 5, just like take.
Take 5. Okay.
Yeah, Take 5. The Take 5 itself, without the gratitude meditation component, was introduced to me by my XPT family with Laird Hamilton and Belisa Branich and Gabby Rees and PJ Nestler as I went through their breathwork program. I liked it because it's something that you can teach kids too very easily. You know,
Yeah.
I have nephews that are like 9 years old and 7 years old, and they're so hyper and they do so many things. And all I let them do is like, okay, get your hand and let me get my fingers, and I run. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then, okay, breathe. Now breathe. They're breathing and they're breathing out. And even though they feel they're not really sure what they're doing, the sense that they have, the fact that you're supporting them with your finger and they feel you through the tactile sensation allows them to already get grounded. And even though you're not talking about meditation, you're just talking about being mindful of the moment and being present, but also allowing that breath to be a tool for them to be present. Mm-hmm. And even though that's probably beyond their heads as a 9-year-old and stuff, I think it's somewhere to start, because as they get older, they'll remember that feeling. Mm-hmm. And as you know, Maya Angelou definitely is famous for saying that. It's like, it's how you made them feel that people remember you by more than anything.
So true.
So that said, as we went through that check-in and we went through that gratitude exercise and breath work, what are you grateful for and why?
That's beautiful. Let me say like one or two things, because when you asked me, what are you grateful for right now?
Yeah.
I went for like things I could be grateful if I wanted to. And then you asked, but not like what you woke up to or tomorrow, right now. And for me, it was interesting, because as I started to do the exercise, it just reminded me, like I did an online event that went for like 6 to 7 hours today. And I did a bunch of stuff. And one of the things was a gratitude exercise. I did like a visualization exercise, and I did a bunch of stuff. And now I was doing, with you guiding me, the exercise. And for me, I really felt grateful, because I'm usually right now in a position that I'm always giving, in a way that I'm always serving with my mission. And I like to take care of myself as well. And so I do my gratitude and everything. But it's very different when you have someone guiding you. It's very different. And so I love being guided like through these exercises. And I just realized it's been months since I've done anything like this. As someone is guiding me in like a personal development program or seminar or something. And so it made me like remind myself that not only I need to be serving others and taking care of myself, I also need to be inspired and guided by other people as well. And so for me, that was really at the moment. And when you said, if you want to laugh or if you want to smile, I was like literally thinking about this on that moment. So that was on the moment. And then regarding what am I grateful for, I think in the end, I'm just grateful for life. I can be grateful for so many things,
I know.
and it's a little bit of a cliche, but we all know that our we it's not that we all know, but intimately, I think we all know that our experience of life, it's not the external world, it's always the internal one. And so we are the ones that choose consciously or unconsciously to make an interpretation of the external world that eventually will determine how we feel. And so I am a seeker. You are a seeker too. Seeker is someone that is always searching for becoming better as a human being and reaching new goals. And the problem with seekers is that seekers is amazing because they are always driven, but they also have a challenge that is they are always searching for more. And so sometimes it's hard to appreciate what we already have. And when we really look at it, and when we go like really deep, and I mean, you are the preacher of gratitude, so I'm preaching to the choir here, but when we go really deep,
No
and
pun
you are
intended, right?
yeah, exactly, and you are like really connected and grateful when you go into that deep state after like maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes of like being really on that state, you can be grateful for everything. And so you can be grateful for the air you're breathing, for the food you're eating, for everyone around you, even for the tough times because they made you grow. And so I'm grateful for life. And yeah, I just need to remind myself sometimes of that fact because I'm always striving for more as well. And I think every seeker has that challenge.
True, very true. I think we are in a constant search. That's why we're seekers. Yet
Yeah,
sometimes we need that pause and a reminder from another seeker to tell us to like take a moment, because sometimes the magic happens is when you pause. So,
so true.
um, wanted to I share some love to my friends from Paris as well who are here, from Porto, the extended family, in my crew over in Porto, and for everyone that's here just chiming in. Welcome to Sunday Gratitude. Please go down into the comment section and let us know where you're from, and let us know what you're grateful for today and at this moment in time. Press the like button plus the love button, share it on that little arrow down there, and share that this conversation is going on, to also be that person to remind somebody else and guide somebody else what they're grateful for. So please write it down, tell us where you're from, tell us what you're grateful for. So the next question I have for you is like, with this sense of gratitude, and you're already doing it as you just explained for the event that you had with Seekers Club, how else are you sharing your gratitude to the world?
Hmm. So I will say that um, we I some years ago I was what I maybe how can I call it, like an atheist or something. Some years
Mhm.
ago, I was born and raised Catholic, and I was always a rebel. So I very quickly, since I'm like 12, 13, I decided to abandon that. And I always considered myself a very rational scientist and everything. But around my 20th birthday, like in my 20s, I started to connect with something deeper, with something more meaningful, with something that is ever present, ever present. And so I started to connect with something that right now, and it's my belief, and I can be wrong, but I don't feel it daily, but I feel it a lot of times, and I really feel a deep connection with something that is so stronger than us, and at the same time, it is us. And my thinking about this is that we didn't do anything to deserve this experience. In a way that we are born, we really don't know why, and as of what we know, we didn't really do anything to deserve this experience. And life can be really a wonderful adventure, in the words of Charlie Chaplin. And so I believe that life is something that can have so many beautiful moments, so many magic experiences. And in my belief and perspective is like, if we have this chance and this opportunity that we even didn't need to fight for, it was given to us as a gift. The only thing that is asked for us, the only thing that is asked for us in return is to live like with the most amount of depth and intensity and passion that we can. This is my core belief about life. If this can be a wonderful adventure, if this was given to us without asking anything in return, it's our duty to make sure that we make the most out of our lives. And I was raised in a private college in Portugal. For those of you that know Portugal better, like city by city, in Cascais, like in Estoril, and I went to a private school, and I was never a rich kid, never. My dad and my mom, they busted their asses off to be able to for me to go to a private school, and I always had friends that were richer than me in terms of monetary possessions. Always had friends that, I mean, they had everything they wanted. Like they turned 16, they had the car. They turned 18, they had whatever they wanted.
Mm.
And uh, and uh, and one thing that, yeah, I'm losing you. Are you here?
Yep, I got you.
I lost you. Okay, got it.
You got circular for a second there.
Yeah.
But you
Okay,
know,
got it.
it's the energy of the universe just wanting to hear more from you. Because
Exactly.
as I'm looking down to the list of people are just sharing their gratitude, and a lot of their gratitude comes from you, my friend. It's like
It's
it's the
beautiful.
family you've created, the whole crew of seekers that you've helped and made them reborn. It's like, you know, you're
Yeah.
getting a lot of love. So maybe the energy is now making that internet like start, you know. As
And
you were saying,
I
yeah.
really think like this comes from me growing up, and I was always very passionate about life. And I grew up with a lot of people that always have maybe better possessions than me and everything. And one thing that always confused me is how can some people have everything they ever wanted externally and don't value it and
Mm.
don't do anything about it. And so I've encountered a lot of people that, in my opinion, are like they are just wasting their potential, and they are just wasting the potential life has for them. They are always not. They are always. They. And I'm not here judging. That's not the point. What I want to really say is that, is that life can be such a beautiful adventure, and it's our duty to do something about it. And for me, it just confuses me, how can we not, how can we waste it sometimes? And you
Yeah.
see a lot of people wasting their lives by listening to their fears of judgment of other people. And so they are much more connected to their ego instead of who they truly are. And so my duty, first as for myself, is to make sure that I make the most out of this wonderful adventure. And I know that if people are not making the most out of their adventure too, is because they have struggles. It's because, as me, as everyone, it's because they have something that is limiting their potential. There's something that is, there's some obstacle in the way. It can be a fear, it can be a limiting belief, it can be a poor strategy, it can be something that happened. And so my life's mission is to try to understand life in a way that it's like super easy to comprehend, like really understand life, codify it, and share it in a way that it's easy to understand and act upon. So I want to, at Seekers Club, it's our mission. We want to inspire, teach, and guide seekers to reach their full potential and make the most out of their lives. And I will do whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Right now, we just did an event that was like the quarterly kickoff for a project we have called Seeker's Journey, which is basically a quarterly journey where they are guided weekly through a system to make sure that they have peer groups, they have guidance, they have like a method for making sure that they are always reflecting and being grateful and projecting the week ahead. And so right now we're trying that as a pilot to implement in October. We're going to do our first live event as Seekers Club in October as well. I mean, let's see how this whole COVID thing works out. We just launched our first online course. We have 12 workshops already done, 13 or 14 with E, when we do one with you.
You're,
And
you're,
so for
you're,
me, I will do whatever it takes, you know, I
you're
don't care.
doing the work, my friend. You are
Yeah,
doing the work and sharing it with everybody. Your life right now, and I think the project of Seekers Club you have is your way of really showing what you're grateful for. I mean, there's no,
it's so
I
true.
think that question fit you perfectly. I mean, to be able to ask you, what are you doing to share your gratitude? You created something for it. So on that note, let's show Fred some love. Get on the hearts, like,
Get on
love,
the
press the
hearts.
heart button, show it up to him. Yeah, tell people, let's say not only where you're from in the comment, but be grateful for Fred and the work he's doing for Seekers Club. And make sure you share this right now on that little arrow button for everybody
Here,
else
E,
to
I can
know
see
that this
some of
mission is big. This mission is big. Yep,
I
like and
can see
love.
beautiful. I can see some of the comments here, and for example, I have here one, Carolina Carol for short. I perfectly remember like she went to my first ever seminar, and she had like a challenge as we all do, and I remember her just breaking the board with it like the karate boards, and she
Oh,
broke
nice.
yeah, and she broke the board, and she was so surprised with herself because she thought she was not capable of doing it, and she had like a challenge that she completely overcame it, and then she sent me a note saying that thank you for this. For me, it was I was reborn, and that just makes me. I mean, I think it was Carol. I think it was of all the feedbacks I've ever had, it was the strongest one. But for me, this is just as you said, this is life's mission. You know,
It's life's mission.
I'm doing the work, and it's not only my work; it's our work.
So that actually is a perfect segue because as you talked about earlier, you're talking about giving and everything that you've given. Um, and so some of the challenges as a giver is to receive. And as you just explained that, it's such a refreshing feeling for you to receive. And even just the simple act of following a lead for breath work and meditation allows you then to receive. And so the next part, or the biggest meat and potatoes of the Sunday gratitude, is something we call the gratitude visit or the gratitude letter. Out of every positive psychology intervention that's backed by science in the well-being space, it is the most powerful intervention that's ever used as it relates to the degree of change and how the person feels and its an effect on the total well-being of a person. And with the gratitude visit, all you do is basically write or handwrite a letter to somebody, and then you put it in an envelope, and then you have to go to that person you're writing that envelope, that letter to, open the envelope, and tell the person to sit back and relax and receive while you
Beautiful.
while you read that note to them. And the reason why the effect is so lasting with the research that has shown is because it has both a psychological effect, which is the point of us having to reflect and write down, you know, the tactile effect, because now you're using your hands to actually physically write a letter and not type it, and the social effect, because you put yourself in an uncomfortable position of where you have to give something and then the opposite person just has to receive it without having to reply, without having to like say something. They just stand there and receive it. So if you were to write a gratitude letter to somebody, whether it's somebody that's current, that is alive or has passed away, or somebody that you can only do it virtually because of the situation in COVID right now, but the intention is for you to not is to give that as a gift and for that person to receive it. Who would that person be and why?
Mm. I mean, today, as you know, because I shared it with you. Can you listen to me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Yeah, today especially, and I shared it with you. I had my grandma died yesterday. She was 104, and she died yesterday. Today I was with the family before the event and everything. I didn't want to cancel anything because mission comes first with family, but I was able to pull both off, and and so I mean, I can't really deliver to her because she's not here anymore, at least in a physical way. Um, but one thing that I always said every time I was with her, one thing, and so I think I always paid her gratitude. I don't like to, I don't like to wait to be thankful for. I think I did
Mm.
that mistakes many times in the past, and so anytime I can, especially with people that I love, I tell them how grateful I am for them and how beautiful they are in my life. And with my grandma, great grandma, she was 104. The thing with
104, my friend. Wow.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, she's amazing. And the thing with people that go to 104 is that you think they'll never die. You think they'll be forever. I mean, if they went till 104, they'll go to 120 for sure. And it was so unexpected. And I just received like a call yesterday and everything from my mom. And what I always said to my great grandma is that we are so lucky. And I always said it like at Christmas and everything. Christmas was always at her house. I always said that we were like 20 people at Christmas table. Between she had two sons, one son and one daughter. Each had like four kids, and each kid had like four. And I'm one of them. So we were a lot. And I always said, we are only here because of you.
Mm.
We are only here because of you. I mean, we are like 20 people here, and
Oh,
no one will ever be here if it weren't for you. You
absolutely.
gave birth to us, and you raised us, and you made sure that we had everything we needed to live the best possible life we could live. And so for me, she was the from of everyone I know in my family, she was the giver. She founded something in Portugal, co-founded something called Casa do Menino Deus. Like she was very Catholic. It's like how can I say, House of Little Jesus,
Okay.
and she dedicated her life to the poor. And she was always smiling and so beautiful and saying amazing things to everyone. And so if I had to say, of course, something to someone, it will be today. I'll just thank her, because if it was not for her, I will not be here, and my family will not be here. And she's
Mm.
just an amazing human being that touched so many lives, and she lived she lived a beautiful life as well. And I'm so proud of her, even being her grandkid, great grandkid,
Great grandkid.
because yeah, she's an amazing human being, and I just hope, I know that she'll continue in her journey,
Mm.
whatever she is. And so for me, I will give my thanks to her. And tomorrow, as we go on this journey as a family, I'll pay her that tribute again.
Yeah, I mean, usually I like to make this as a challenge for people, for those who are alive, to write that letter and to hand it to them. Um, I think being able to believe that her presence is still there and still write that letter and to be able to then share that with your family would be such a powerful um, experience. I think not just for you, but the rest of your family.
Oh
So,
yeah, for sure.
um, let's
I'll
let's
do
make
it.
sure, yeah, let's make sure give Fred some love, like getting him more hearts and more likes. Let's get him some love. I mean, we got people saying how beautiful it is, and definitely that I'm sure she's proud of you. My friend Yasmin from Paris, who's been at almost every Sunday Gratitude from Paris, sends some love as well. Those words are absolutely beautiful. So, on that note, and as you've already explained a couple of things from the Seekers Club, what besides the Seekers Club and obviously it as a project and a whole, and I know you're somebody that constantly does the work for yourself. I still have your book, Siddhartha, that you sent to me, and I'm still working on it. I have a lot of books that I'm reading.
I know, I
Um,
know.
what's the one thing that you're personally working on right now?
One thing that I'm personally working on right now.
Yeah, personally. I mean, you explain already a lot of things of how you share your gratitude in the form of a company and a project and stuff. But like I said, I know you're constantly working on something from yourself. What what are you personally working on right now?
Yeah, I'm personally working on something that I've worked on the past and worked on the past and worked on the past, because I think we all have our personal challenges, and some of them are so conditioned into our nervous system that we need to overcome them more than once. It's not like you program
Right.
and it's done for life. And mine was that I'm an obsessed person, meaning that I have a beautiful obsession with adding value to people's lives in a way that helps them like meet their true potential. And this is really an obsession for me. An obsession meaning that I'm always thinking about it. I'm
Mm.
always reading books regarding it. I'm always going to seminars. I'm going to do UPW, like from Tony Robbins, for the fourth time this week,
Are you doing
virtual. Just
live or are you doing virtual?
yeah, he's doing virtual for
I was like,
10,000
wait a minute,
people.
that's not live.
He's doing virtual, and I'm going not because of the content, because I just want to see how he's doing the live part. Because I did
Should I?
one today. What?
You're right. Huh?
Yeah, I want to see how I paid. I mean, it was really cheap compared to like a regular ticket. I paid like
Yeah.
what 300, 400 euros. It's still a lot, at least for Portugal. But and I'm going there for one reason, to understand how is he leveraging technology to be able to create a
Mm.
better experience in house. And so I'm always like, in everything I do, I'm always trying to find things that I can use to improve my work and my mission. And this comes with a cost, and the cost is being able to take care of yourself. The cost is balancing your life. And so I can tell you a story here that I think it's a beautiful story. That was the thing that really made me think about this in a different lens, because I always knew. And when I was 20, I started my first company, Sonder, and it was a lot of pressure for a kid, and I started to have some anxiety. And so sometimes I just had some anxiety, and I really didn't know what it was. I was not yet on the personal development space, and I just hide it. I was ashamed of it. It was an embarrassment for me because I thought at the time, with my programming at the time, that I was just a weak person for having it.
Mm.
It's so
Yeah.
stupid. But at the time it was my thinking. And so at 22, I was not happy. I was like achieving a lot of uh, outcomes and goals in terms of like professional success, but I was not happy. And I went to Asia for 2 months, and I really discovered there that I needed to balance my life. I cannot only I can't just focus on work. I really need to focus on other things too. And
Mm.
I remembered that I love to dance, for example. I love to dance. And then when I was at A-Fest, I was dancing like crazy, because it's something that I love. But for 2 years straight, I forgot how to dance. And
Mm.
uh, and so I gradually, the work that I've been doing from that moment is to make sure that I make the most out of my life, not by being extraordinary on one area, but by maximizing and balancing all the areas of life, like relationships, your health, your mental health, your experiences, your mission, your time management, and all of those things. And so around a year ago, I went to Fiji for I bought Mastery University at the time, which is like from Tony, and
Yep.
I was doing like the last seminar, which is Life and Wealth Mastery in Fiji, and I went there. And at the time, I always had these ups and downs, meaning that I burned myself out of overworking, and then I realized like, yeah, I need to balance my life, and then I balanced a little bit, and then I came back, and then I balanced, and I came back. So this back and forth, and then I went to Fiji, and on the last day, it was the last day, and then on the day after the last day, some of us decided to stay because we had like a flight one day after, and so it was like 10 of us. We decided to stay there, and we all had lunch, and I really connected with the guy, like an American guy, like a super rich American, like multi-millionaire entrepreneur. He was like 50 or 60 years old or something like that, and we really connected. And I was explaining my challenges that I really know that I need to take care of myself, but my body, it's like it seems programmed to wanting to work and to wanting to do my mission and everything. And he was like teaching me meditation and all those things. And eventually, the day after, we really connected. And the day after, the plane that goes to that island where Tony has his resort is a plane that has like 10 seats. And so it's like a super small plane. And we found out that we were going on the same plane to the main island in Fiji. And so we connected even more. And there, he was going to his home country, to America, and I was going to Portugal, like for a 30 or 40 hour flight. And then we decided to have breakfast there, and we were having some eggs. And I was still talking about the topic and everything. And at a certain moment, he just looked at me and said, well, I know this is important for you, so I'm going to tell you a story that I think it's going to be important. Uh, and he started to talk about how he became such a successful businessman. He did his millions of dollars, and I mean, I was never moved by money, but it's work anyway. And so he made his millions of dollars. He impacted lives, how many lives? and he had hundreds of employees, and he had operations in so many countries, and he was so passionate talking about all of that, and he was clearly a passionate man that had a mission as well. And then he said, and I mean, I had the love of my life, and we were together like for 25 years, and we had
Wow.
these amazing kids. I mean, the
Mm.
kids, I mean, they are the love of my life. And 25 years later, we had amazing vacations. We had a great relationship. And 25 years later, I found out that she cheated on me. And I was like,
Mm.
wow. And then he said, and it was the hardest moment of my life. And I asked her, why didn't she say anything to me? Because she never looked upset or something. She never did anything to make me see that I was working too much. And he said, the problem was that she loved me so much that she knew I loved what I did.
Mm.
And so she never told me because she didn't want to get in the way. And as I didn't meet her needs, she had to meet her needs with a different person. And so for me, I was shaking because I have an amazing relationship with my girlfriend that I love more than everything in the world. She's right here. She's like saying to me, "Don't
She's
say
going
those
to do a
things."
cameo. She wants to do a cameo.
No, 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 she doesn't want. She doesn't want. And we are very different. And I love her like she's the love of my life, and I want to marry her and have kids with her and grandkids with her. And one day I'll be the great granddad,
Yeah.
and she the great grandma. And for me at that moment was like, I mean, I was not having a bad relationship. We always had a great relationship, but for me it was really just a warning, a warning that if you don't prioritize correctly, if you don't really put yourself first and your relationships first, even if you are a really mission driven person, I mean, you are going to fuck up your life, and you're going to fuck up the lives of the people that you most care about. And so for me, I really decided like, no more. I'm going to establish some boundaries here.
Yeah.
So, and starting from there, I never failed. I decided I'm going to stop working at 6, and I stopped working at 6. I'm never going to wake up with an alarm clock again, and I didn't. And so weekends are always off. I'm not working on weekends. And I did that for months in a row. And then eventually COVID came and Seekers Club came at the same time. And so my boundaries were off the window. And so I got a little bit pissed off with myself because, and I know we should not judge ourselves, but I got a little bit pissed off with myself because I think I knew better. And on the last couple of months, I've not been as balanced as I believe I could be. And so I went on vacations with my girlfriend 3 weeks ago, and we were both like, she works with me at Seekers Club as well. We were working like crazy and everything. And with COVID, you don't go to the gym and anything. And so we really decided like we have not been balanced on the last couple of
Yeah.
months. So let's do something about it. And so we're working towards coming back to that balance again. And so this was a long story, but I think it's a story with a lot of value. And every time that I tell this story, someone, at least one person, is like, this can be me, and I'm not going to be that person. And so I always love to tell this story.
I mean, first of all, thank you for sharing that. It's such an insight for so many people to learn what you've gone through, that are currently going through, but then also learning that from other people who, from the outside, you think are super successful that don't have problems. And it's not until we get to know their stories that we can find out that they've gone through things. So that said, just like Carolina, who's mentioned, who's commented at the bottom there, yeah, don't be so hard on you. I mean, we all are learners and we all are seekers, as you say. And as you continue on your journey, there are things that you're going to learn along the way which are better for you and which are not. But until you experience that and until you get that feeling of, well, I'm kind of off, until you become more mindful of how that feeling affects you, that's the only time you can pause and say, okay, look, even though I made boundaries, even though I set a schedule up, even though there's still something off, let me just take a day off and be okay with that. And I think the
Yeah.
biggest problem with a lot of people today, particularly in this world of hustle and stuff, but especially here in New York, is that
Oh, yeah.
you are penalized for not hustling. You're penalized for not working. You're penalized for not grinding because that means that you're lazy. But in fact, if you are grinding all the time, if you don't work from a full cup, then you're going to shoot down from empty, and then you don't bring value to anybody else. So it's been interesting because in the world of positive psychology, we look at it as our goal for everybody is not necessarily to be happy in this world, but rather to live well. And to live well, you have to have an equal level, just like if you were driving a car and the little gauges in the corner there, of there's 5 categories that define what well-being and feeling well is. One is positive emotions, which is being happy and knowing that happiness comes up, but also happiness comes down. But it's understanding what those emotions do for you. It's that joy, it's that beauty that you feel, and all that stuff. Number 2, it's the engagement or flow that you get. It's when you're focused on something so bad and you're so passionate that no matter what you do, you don't even know that hours have gone by, but you don't get tired because you have so much passion for it. Number 3 is relationships. If you have great relationships, both romantic and non-romantic relationships, it allows you to have this support system so that, as you know, if you spend time with amazing people, you too become amazing. And as you surround yourself with that. And then 4th is meaning in life. And whether that's a spiritual component or whether that's just something that maybe passed on from generations or something from your family, finding meaning in life allows you to have more focus, and then in turn coincides with how happy you can get, which then coincides with the better relationships you have, and then in turn allows you to live well. And then the last one is achievements. In as much as some people would say that maybe creating a company or getting this education is an achievement and it's a selfish situation, we still have to be somewhat selfish because we need to satisfy ourselves. We need something to work off of, because if there's some things that we wish we had and we didn't work on it, then it's harder for us to be happy. It's harder for us to then help other people. It's harder for us to. So all of those are little gauges in our life, which in a sense define what balance means. And so if you're able to find these little things, and if you can up one, even if one drops, but the other one comes up, then you'll still find a balance. But sometimes the biggest thing you need to do is be aware. And that, in a sense, is always the biggest challenge. And if it's not you, then somebody that you're close to needs to do that and be accountable for you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
100%. Can you just repeat the 5 ones quickly?
Yeah. So the 5, it's the moniker is PERMA, like permanent.
Perma. Okay.
PERMA is positive emotion,
Okay.
engagement or flow, relationships, meaning, and achievements.
Okay. Got it.
And by having all of that in a, sometimes sometimes even if there's some people, like, let's say when a recent not a recent study, but there was a study done initially that looked at what defined happiest people in the world, and it saw that there are places around the world that are extremely happy, where their emotions are really high and positive emotions, but at the same time they don't really have a lot of meaning. Especially like in Scandinavia, it's like a lot of people don't always have meaning, but they have achievement and they have good relationships, and then there's flow because you have good work and you're happy about it. But then there's also people in South America that don't have a lot of achievement because they're in a bad political or financial situation, but their meaning in life and their purpose is so high that it evens out the things of not being in flow, because they have great relationships and support systems that they shoot up the roof. So it's really about balance. And so, as Carolina said, don't be too hard on yourself, because if you just take a step back and look at what you can pull on each side, those gauges will still be even for you. So
thanks.
Wow. This became more like you asked me the question instead of. Anyways, that said,
you helped me and you just gave a mini workshop here.
I know, I just did a mini workshop. But on the flip side here, this is very interesting, because I'd like to know if you had a message out there from the lessons that you've currently learned, and as we round off this season 1 of Sunday Gratitude, because we're gonna pause after this, and then we're gonna look at how we can improve the experience so that more people can be more engaged and be participatory, and we're gonna learn the lessons. So from your standpoint, what are some of the, I guess, lessons or teachings that you can share out there as we round up not only today's Sunday Gratitude, but for the past 3 months of Sunday Gratitude?
Yeah. Let me
I
think
know there's a lot
about.
of pressure because I said I need Fred, the last person, because he's like, when you're in a race, you're that last person to try to get to that finish line and win it and pass the baton. So,
I'm good. I mean, I just have a lot of them, so I'm just like trying to think. What is the one? What is the one? Just give me 10 seconds to think about what's if I could share one. What is the one?
and for
Yeah, I
those
have
who are
one. I think
watching, make
I
sure
think
you comment and tell us what you're grateful for as well. While Fred is thinking in his head of what's the one thing, make sure you press the like button and press the heart button to show us some love over here, and make sure you share these last couple of minutes because these are going to be some amazing pearls from Fred right now. I guarantee it.
let me share you one that was, I will say, one of the most important ones in my life, and I think you're gonna love it. And this was when 2 years ago I was living near LX Factory, which is basically, I'm not sure if you know what it is. It's a compound in Lisbon full of like new companies, restaurants. It's like a creative hub, and I was living like really close there because my company was there, and so I could walk to work and come back. And 2 years ago, at maybe around this time, it was so hot in Lisbon, like 40 degrees Celsius, which I have no idea how much is it in Fahrenheit. It will probably like 100 and something.
100 something,
Yeah,
105 or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, like really, really strong. And one day I arrive at my house and I have a huge cockroach in my floor. And I arrived there and I have the cockroach, and I'm like, okay, this happens. So I just put it outside, and so I did. And the day afterwards, I just come from work, and I go inside a house and I have another cockroach, and I'm thinking, is this the same one, or is this another one? And so I just pick it up and throw her out. And the day after, same thing, but two cockroaches. And eventually it came up, and I was working a lot, and so eventually I would say a week later I went to with my girlfriend, and we went inside our home, and we had five cockroaches like this big on the wall, and she was like, okay, either the cockroaches stay or I stay, we can't stay at the same time, so they have to leave. And I was like, okay, I need to do something about this. And so the next day, I call the guys that, I don't know how to say this in English, but the guys that do the
Exterminator.
work, the exterminators, exactly.
Exterminator.
I
Exterminator.
call exterminator. Yeah, I call the exterminator, and two guys showed up like the day after, and two guys showed up like two guys. One was like a young kid, like maybe 19, 20 years old. He was like really like a rookie, just learning the craft. And the other one was, I would say, a 50, 55 year old man, like tiny man with glasses, a mustache. It was like super sweet person, and it was like 7:30, and I opened the door, and he's like, "Oh, what's up? Blah blah blah. I'm here. I'm the exterminator. I'm here to kill the cockroaches. How are you doing and everything?" And I was like, still half asleep, like going for a shower before a days of work, and I'm like, "Oh, they're there." But I was so surprised because he was so happy. It was like 7:30, 8 a.m., and he was so happy, so happy, so happy. And and eventually, I take my shower. He's doing his job. He's listening to music, and I'm like cooking breakfast, and he's just like listening to music, singing, and doing with his stick, doing whatever he needs to do. And eventually, I just go to him and I just ask to talk to him, and I asked him like, this is my favorite question to ask to people that I don't know that work in places that can have an interesting.
We have 40 seconds, by the way, just to let you know.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to start one because I need to finish this story. Just close it and we start another one.
Okay, fine.
Okay, let's go.
I know you're like, before you get into like, I'm
Yeah,
captivated. I'm captivated.
yeah. So let's
And
just
we're
close
gonna
it.
see you on the flip side. This is like the perfect way to end
Oh,
season 1.
exactly.
We're gonna go overtime. It's like that extra
Yeah.
shot we're gonna make. So in 10 seconds, don't leave. Heart as
This is the
will be
best
back
part of the story.
after we get this whole kind of situation rounded up.